Hola amigas, welcome to my channel. So, today is going to be a continuation of the 20 artist question things, the starving artist tag, question 6 through 10. Okay, so as a refresher, this is a print with me for my final project for my print media class. So just watch me make prints. Yep. Question 6. Pregunta 6. What's the favorite piece you ever made and why is it special? So I think for me, I would have to say that my favorite piece is the triptych, which means a series of 3 pieces that are one piece, 3 artworks that are one piece. Usually I share it as the standalone, which is the sea turtle piece. I'll put a quick picture of it on the screen so you can see what I'm talking about. But I usually just share the standalone sea turtle piece because it's the best out of the 3. But I really like all 3 and I like the message behind it. It's supposed to be at first glance, it's a really pretty picture, and you're like, wow, look at this pretty sea turtle, this pretty shark, this pretty bird. But really, it's more sinister. Beneath the prettiness is a underlying issue that our oceans face, and the hammerhead piece, which is called Soup. Behind the hammerhead, who is just chilling, there are a pile of shark bodies with their fins cut off. Shark fin soup. Get it? Then we have the puffin piece. And that looks like a pretty puffin just flying, but it's flying over an ocean section area that has an oil spill. That's what the red is. It's an oil spill. And that one is called Spilled. And then the sea turtle, which, to be fair, it could look like a completely healthy coral, but the piece is called Bleached, and it's intended to be the sea turtle's nice and dandy and just swimming along, but the corals have been bleached by climate change and, the rising temperatures in the ocean, which bleach the corals. I just really like it, and the sea turtle is one of my favorite, finished paintings that I've done, so it's just, yeah. Yep. Pregunta 7. Who/what are your biggest art influences? So, for who, I'm a basic art girl. Van Gogh, he's one of my favorite artists. I'm just a sucker for that merging, that balance of realism with style, stylistic choices. You can tell what was being painted, but you can also tell how the artist wanted to depict it. It wasn't just purely, let me get this scene on the paper, or canvas, I guess, which is something I really like. So I really like that whole, impressionistic, post-impressionistic time period. I don't really know what the difference is. I think it's, more of the, I don't know. But yeah, so I just really like Van Gogh style, and that's really kind of what I'm aiming for in life. Not necessarily a style exactly, but some sort of style reminiscent of that. And then also, I don't know, I do also kind of contemporary art influences are Chloe Rose Art. I really just love her channel because she makes a nice mixture of actually making art and then doing art challenges. And I just love her personality. She seems really sweet, and she loves Disney, and she really loves Stitch, and I also really love Stitch. So, yeah. And also her thing with bears is so cute. It's kind of like my thing with sharks and the ocean. Yeah, so I really like her. There's a few other contemporary artists that aren't really, I guess, I don't know, they're not on the art history scene. No one's gonna consider them art history canon, but also art history canon sucks. So, yeah. But Van Gogh's probably the main one who's like art influences me, not just like how they make their art and stuff. Then what are your biggest art influences? Because this is a bit different. Obviously, I love the ocean, so really anything watery, animal-y, K-pop pretty girly. Those are definitely my biggest influences in what I make. So yeah. Okay, pregunta 8. What did you learn from being a full-time artist? Well, I am not a full-time artist, so I have yet to learn anything. I've learned it's very hard to even be a part-time artist. Yeah. Being an artist is hard. People are like, oh, you're gonna be an artist? It's like, yeah. And they're like, oh, that's never gonna work out. And it's not. They don't say that because they mean that, like, art is very hard and there's a lot of competition and you have to find the people who like what you make. Like, that's just what happens to all successful artists. Like, they find someone who likes their work, or a few someones, and those someones can share it with more people that have the same taste. Like, it's not everyone in the world likes this person's art. Like, no, that's not how it works. You have to find the people who like your art, and then hopefully it will grow from there. So, but people don't mean that it's just hard to get into it most of the time when they're telling you that you should be an artist. They mean that, oh, really? That's kind of like a silly career. Why don't you do something more important? Or, nah. And I'm like, how about I take away all of your art for like a day? See how you survive. Like, I'll take away your music, your movies, your TVs, your photography, your decorations. Like, I'll take away everything, and then you'll be like, oh, yeah. Because, like, art is not just paintings, people. It's not. And when the world realizes that, the world will be a better place. Wow, these questions are going a lot quicker. Okay. Pregunta 9. What do your family and friends think about you being an artist? Well, considering my friends are my dogs, they love it. They're pretty good. They chill. I mean, it is hard and it's difficult, and you want to have plans of what you're going to do to support yourself while you're making your artwork, which I think is a very good mindset to have. Someone who's like, yeah, make your art, but don't forget to not starve. Haha, it's called the starving artist tag. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say. Like, my fam loves my art most of the time. Okay, finally. Pregunta 10. Was becoming an artist your childhood dream? If not, what was? So, this depends on what your definition of an artist is. So for me, an artist, while generally I will say it and apply it just to being a visual art artist, but in general I think of an artist as an all-encompassing for all the different arts. You just sometimes do have to specify that, which I think is fine. But in my sense of the word artist, being someone who creates any kind of art, yes, I always wanted to be a writer. I did want to be a marine biologist, which I think I mentioned in the last video. But I always wanted to be a writer alongside that. Like, writing was just always something that I loved to do. So that, and then also, I don't know necessarily if I wanted to be an actress when I was younger. I just like to perform. I know at some points I wanted to be like a musician, and I'd still like to work on that, but you know. So I feel like, yeah, being an artist has always been my childhood dream. I always wanted to make art. Even when I was a marine biologist, I mean, or wanted to be. Yeah, there's not much else to say. I do think it's interesting that while I no longer want to be a marine biologist, that love for the ocean and like learning about it has really continued following me. And like I don't think it's ever gonna not follow me. Like I think I will always make art about the ocean and stuff. Like, I mean, ideally I really would like to be involved in like a ocean conservation campaign as like an artist or like collaborator, and I also really want to get into underwater photography and videography. I would love to go diving with animals and take pictures and videos of them. Well, that was preguntas 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and they went by really quickly because they are easy questions that I don't have much to say about. Adios, amigas. Yeah. See you next time.